Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We're in one of my favorite parking lot locations because you know what? We got some nice, tranquil scenery, but we also have something very exciting here. This is that hot-selling, all-new 2022 Hyundai Santa Cruz. Our particular one is the top limited trim. But before we get into what Hyundai is calling a sport adventure vehicle, let's talk about what's going on here. Hyundai is really doing the business in the auto industry, creating a lineup of vehicles that not only brings that value that's been around for decades, that long-standing warranty, but also technology and style. The Santa Cruz being their first pickup truck, I didn't say it, you did, is really changing the name of the game for small size vehicles. This being on that Tucson setup of a compact situation, having that extra bed attached to it really is kind of bringing back the truck industry to where it once used to be, where it was all about the smaller size trucks. Now, of course, there's the main competition from Ford with the Maverick, but all the other trucks that you are familiar with, including the Honda Ridgeline, those are all mid-size trucks. This being a compact truck really is paving the way for the return of the smaller size vehicle. Now, when it comes to Hyundai, it really in Y2K was a big game changer bringing the Santa Fe, because the Santa Fe was their first SUV, and you can see now how their first SUV has created a lineup of other SUVs that really just knocks the ball out of the park. Will the Santa Cruz do the same for this brand, or is this something that may fall to the wayside? But what I want to find out is, if you're going to go small truck or sport adventure vehicle, and you want to go with the Hyundai Santa Cruz, is it worth the price going all the way to the top trim and going full limited? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our competitor to the Ford Maverick and find out. Right off the bat, the style. At the front of the business, guess what? It looks like a Hyundai. And that is a good thing, because they really are developing a design philosophy that no matter which vehicle, it has the same styling characteristics. So at the front of the business, just like on your Tucson, you're getting that split lighting setup. So we have our LED projector beam headlights in the lower section. Just like on the Tucson, LED daytime running lamps. You'll also find this on, obviously, the big boy, the Palisade, the Santa Fe. Lots of their vehicles, like I said, are taking these design cues. Up top, you are going to get that very, very unique way of showing the daytime running lamps. LED, and they're built in to the actual grille area and shaped just like the grille. Now, when you go limited trim, you're going to get all the dark chrome finishes, not only on the grille, but on this lower lip section. And I like the dark chrome. It cuts down on some of the bling bling flashiness of the front end. Now, as we come across the grille section, like I said, very seamless, that nice dark chrome. Even in the center bumper area, you do have a forward-facing camera, which I highly recommend. Any truck that you get, you want to have that forward-facing camera. And what's wonderful is that the rest is going to be flat black, and it's all functional stuff. Nothing just stuck on that doesn't do anything. Now, when we get up onto that low slung hood, you can see the unique design with the almost boomerang shape on both sides, and then everything else just kind of glances right back towards the side mirrors. If you're looking at the Ford Maverick is definitely more truckish with its very rectangular, squared off shape. Now, as we come around the bend, nothing squared off about what we have here. When you go limited trim, you're getting these massive size wheels. Love the machined aluminum gloss black 20-inch wheel. And what's great is, like I said, the design really blends in nicely with what you find on the Santa Fe, the Palisade, the Tucson. 245 on the width, nice meaty 50 series sidewall. And one thing that Hyundai really seems to be into right now are geometric shapes. So if you fail geometry, you might be able to get some extra credit and boost that grade up and get the high school credit for geometry, because you'll notice all the triangular design around the fender opening, the nice flat black. You'll even notice how they put the little Easter egg of the Santa Fe on the side. really cool how this truck came to be, because it was just a concept for so many years. But Hyundai is not like one of those brands, unlike say Subaru, for example, that their concept vehicles wind up turning into their production vehicles. Now, one of the interesting things that I want to point out again about the fender opening is that the fender flare actually tilts in, not outward. Just something different. And then when you go limited trim, it comes standard with all-wheel drive. If you go the other trims, all-wheel drive is an additional cost. Just something to think about. Let's go ahead and continue. Down the side, you're going to get color match on the mirror caps. You'll notice these little guys, that's our 360-degree cameras on the limited trim. Slim and trim LED turn signals, and then more of that geometric shape. Get your T-square, get your compass, get your protractor, and you'll be able to see all the lines that really, I think, work well on the Santa Cruz compared to some of the other models in their lineup. I like the flat black along the bottom portion, the way it tucks in nicely, and then also the roof line. So smart to have actual roof rails. Unlike the Maverick, you got your roof rails to where you can get the crossbars and be able to put your kayaks up here, your mountain bikes, whatever you got. We got a blacked out gloss black shark fin antenna, and I'm digging the way that they did the back portion of the cab here, how they extended it out and then waterfall this effect right into the bed. Now, when you get to the bed, it's got a nice flared section, and if you're comparing this to the Maverick, I hope size doesn't matter to you. Maybe it does. For some people, that's all it matters. But you know what? This does have the shortest bed out of all the trucks in the auto industry, including the Maverick. So it's just something to think about. But coming towards the rear, I do like the way they have the steps, where you can get your workout and you can see all that suspension action going on, but that'll allow you to reach into the bed of the truck. You'll notice more of the triangular geometric shapes. How many triangles does it take to make a square? And there's your Easter egg. And then wrapping it out to the rear, I love the way they did the lighting. I think the tail end of the business of this truck is so great looking. They even went dark chrome, where they could have put the flashy stuff right where the button is to release the tailgate. You got your H-track. If you're wondering what that is, it has nothing to do with an 8-track. So tell your grandpa to put those 8-track tapes away. H-track is going to be the all-wheel drive developed on the World Rally Circuit, believe it or not. 2.5T, we got turbocharged power. I like the way they cleanly just stamped the Santa Cruz name right into the back. And as we come all the way down, you'll notice more of the triangular shape. Another Easter egg, count them up. And of course, you can do towing. But while we go ahead, let's pop the hood so we can talk about the numbers on our Santa Cruz. All right, guys, when you go top limited trim, it takes all the guesswork out. You're getting all the good stuff. Underneath the hood, you do have a prop rod. I am gonna zonk that, but I'm definitely not gonna zonk that engine choice. You're looking at a 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 4, 281 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque. You do have the all-wheel drive, and guess what? No CVT. You got an 8-speed DCT, 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds flat. Quarter mile goes by at 14.5 seconds at 98 miles an hour. Top speed, 133 miles an hour. Towing, you could tow up to 3,500 pounds. MPG's not too shabby. 19 in the city, 27 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs 4,132 pounds. Engine cover, very, very tasteful. Now remember, if you're comparing this to the Ford Maverick comes standard as a hybrid setup with a CVT. You could also get the 2-liter EcoBoost turbocharged engine with an 8-speed automatic. But let's go ahead, let's get to the interior and see how the Santa Cruz separates itself from the rest of the pack. All right, guys, we're inside the all-new 2022 Santa Cruz. Believe it or not, right now this is the #1 fastest selling vehicle in the United States. Hard to find them at dealerships, but that leads us into the question, should you go limited? And I know that you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've been looking at a Maverick. I don't know. There's just something about this Santa Cruz that really kind of makes it feel 21st century, where I feel like the Maverick feels like it's from the 1990s when compact trucks were the craze. But how much is this limited trim, this top trim? So MSRP going all the way to the top. It's real simple, $42,000. Let's see what you get for the money though to the door panels. I love the style to the door panel. One of the best from Hyundai. Up top you have the soft touch material, little bit of silver trim, little bit of gloss black. The cloth I could do without, so I am gonna zonk that, but the rest of it's all soft touch. There is a little bit of gloss black around the switch gear for the windows and the door locks, but you do have nice contrast stitching on the armrest level itself. Door pocket is a little tight, maybe a box of animal cookies and a bottle of milk to wash it down, and we do have the optional Bose sound system. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, you're still gonna get that cloth blended in, but the good news is I like the little splash of color that they did on the corner there. Even the way they integrated the AC vent, so it's all styled nicely, really fits in, and you do have soft touch material. You get to the infotainment side of things, you're getting a 10.25 inch infotainment system screen, all touch screen, and then you have your touch buttons. There's no physical knobs or switches. Let me know how you feel about that. But of course you have navigation. I like the way you could bring out this extra screen here and actually scroll through different information while you have the navigation up. Even the forecast. Just so you know, there's broken clouds tomorrow. I don't know if you want to go outside. I don't know what broken clouds, what that is actually going to do to us. So watch out for that. And then what's nice is to get rid of it, boom. You hit the home button up top here, and then you have your plethora of little icons that you could go into. Obviously, you could do the quiet mode. If you have kids that are sleeping in the back, it actually limits how loud the radio music will go to. So I really like stuff like that. It lets you know that Hyundai is really thinking about you and your family. And then another thing is that you could swipe back and forth very cleanly. You go into setup, you go into vehicle. Watch this. This is kind of cool. Lights and then ambient lighting. Watch how many colors you have to choose from. And it's not just like white and blue. You got moon white, ice blue, jade green. We got it set to sunrise red, but aurora purple. Nice to have that kind of personality you could bring into the vehicle. And then you're right back to home, and there's your navigation. Another thing that's very impressive, bam, the resolution on the cameras. That beautiful backup camera with the trajectory are 360. And then remember, you could actually hit the side menu here and go through the different angles. I like this because you could see down the side of the vehicle. Really shows that wonderful setup. And then looking out the front, there we are at the front with the trajectory as well. So they really thought that through when it comes to cameras on this vehicle. And then we're right back to the map. You got your start stop button conveniently placed. See how I was telling you, there's no actual knob, so I don't know how you're gonna feel about that, but you do have dual climate, easy to get to. They even give you the little Santa Cruz truck logo there. And then down below, you got two USB-As, a 12 volt and wireless charging, and a place to put a small fun size Snickers. You could put two fun size Snickers where I have my garage door opener. So something to think about. Keep it fun, have the fun size there. Two cup holders. This is gonna control that 8-speed DCT transmission, dual clutch transmission. You can lock the center diff. You got hill descent control, your drive mode selector switch, which I'll show you more of that on the business end. And then I really like the way they put the heated seats, heated steering wheel, and yes, on our limited trim, ventilated seats. With the silver, super soft on the armrest, boom. What do we got? Enough room for 2 bags of snacks, family-sized Skittles, and Sour Patch Kids. Pack them up, there you go. Seats, nice and soft, a little bit of silver, nice perforated material. I'm digging the orange stitching, just a little splash of color with some piping. The other zonk is you have manual seat controls for the passenger. I think for 42 grand, that should be electric assist. I get electric assist over here. And you have a standard size sunroof, which is really nice. But why don't you come over to the business end? I got another screen I want to show you behind the wheel. Come on over. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. There are your seat controls with that lower lumbar. Easy to get to, easy to manipulate the seat to fit your exact body type. I'm 6 feet tall, and we got a sunroof, and I still got plenty of room in here. Steering wheel, very unique. to Hyundai, and I think it's one of my favorite wheels that they have in their vehicles. The leather, nice 10 and 2 notches, the way that it's designed. A little bit of gloss black, a little bit of silver. It is manual tilting and telescoping. And then you do have pretty large paddles that are made out of plastic on the back of the steering wheel to go up and down the 8-speed automatic transmission. And then there's your 10.25-inch screen, digital display. Let me show you the modes. You go into sport mode, the whole dash changes smart, boost your IQ, and then guess what? Your snowman mode. You could build a snowman with your Santa Cruz and get you through that slippery terrain when the snow is coming down. And then you could go right back to normal, but we're gonna keep it in sport. And then on top of that, you got that fantastic technology where they use the 360 cams to go into your blind spots. Really love that ability. I guess the one thing that's really missing is a head-up display. But other than that, lots of technology for the price. Let's get into the backseat and see if there's plenty of room for your backseat passengers in this Santa Cruz. All right, guys, backseat time. Now, the door opening is a little tight, but the great news is once you get in, there's actually plenty of room back here, which is surprising because we have been in some mid-sized trucks like the Frontier, like the Tacoma, like the Colorado, that are tight in the backseat area. So kind of crazy that they have a compact truck or sport adventure vehicle that has plenty of room. Now, the backs of the seats do have the plastic, so if your kids are picking their nose, you'll be able to wipe it off nicely. And we do have those pesky cargo nets, which I am gonna zonk. But the good news is you do have pockets to put plenty of things back here. Just don't put anything sharp, because you'll probably hurt yourself and rip right through the cargo net. Nice AC vents, high and up out of the way, that are gonna be able to direct airflow onto you. 2 USB-As, so you don't have to fight with the person sitting in the back seat to charge your phone. And then, that's the zonk. No center armrest. So my advice is, if somebody is weaker than you sitting in the back seat, give them a little bit of a kidney jab, they'll buckle over, and then you could use them as an armrest. But the good news is, you do have a manual sliding rear glass window, which if they won't want to sit next to you, tell them to sit in the bed and you could throw snacks to them. But really, really nice on the amount of room in here. And there is storage underneath the seats as well. You're just gonna pull up, and then look at that. We got plenty of storage room area, which is really great to have all that flexibility. But since we're talking about storage and we're talking about room, let's get into the bed of the truck and see what we could store in the Santa Cruz. All right, guys, what makes the Santa Cruz different from any other Hyundai in their lineup? Obviously, it's got a bed, just like a pickup truck. What's another fascinating thing, and this is that kind of Jeopardy fun little tidbit of information I want to give you, it's the only truck in the industry that comes standard with a tonneau cover. Go figure. But real easy to open up the tonneau cover. You're just gonna pull up on the Hyundai lever and then you just push. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Nice soft release. Not the largest bed, but you know what? Fully capable. You got LED lighting, you got tie down locations. You even have, which I love, are these easy to slide tie down locations. Just pull up and you slide it over. My favorite part though is Hyundai took a little page from that other H company. We won't say what it is, but look what they got. Under the bed storage, and lo and behold, you got plenty of under the bed storage for tons of Twinkies. That's actually 3 boxes worth. You could easily put 6 boxes. Another thing you could do is turn it into a cooler, have the ice, and it's got a drain plug so you could drain the water out. But why don't we go ahead? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's hit the road in our Santa Cruz and go on throttle. All right, guys, we're inside this 2022 Hyundai Santa Cruz. Why don't we go on throttle from a dead stop? Nobody's behind us. I do have it in sport mode. On throttle, here we go. Nice fast shifts from the 8-speed DCT. Just something to remember if you have not driven one of Hyundai's DCT equipped vehicles, it takes a few seconds, not only because of the boost that needs to build up from the turbocharged engine, but also the way that a DCT behaves in automatic mode. If you put it into manual mode, you will have quicker acceleration off the line, and I will show you that a little bit later in the driving review. But as you can see, keeping it in sport mode, driving down the highway here, very, very smooth, comfortable ride. And if you want that SUV driving experience, but you need the extra versatility of a truck, this Santa Cruz kind of checks off that box. And I know many would call this the El Camino of the Hyundai Tucson, and you may be right, but I really think, like I said, there's a lot of people out there that think they want a truck. Maybe they need a truck, but they don't really want to drive a truck per se. So even with the 20-inch wheels, this truck actually drives really smoothly down the road. I love the side view mirror cameras that allow you to see in the blind spots of the vehicle. Getting to the infotainment is well within reach. The only downside is if there's any fine tuning that you want to do, you can't, because there's no knobs or physical switches. Everything is all this touch button stuff. But plenty of room up front. You are getting a little bit of wind noise, but nothing too crazy. And it's nice that you have that all-wheel drive that's going to keep you planted to the tarmac. When you're changing lanes, like I said, looking in that side view camera there really allows you to see what is going on to the full extent while you're driving. Plus, I think it's cool the way it also keeps the information, like your tachometer still shows what your RPMs are even when the camera is showing. And then as you can see, once you exit off of the highway, then the navigation system zooms back in and gets rid of that extra information, or you could bring up that side information very easily to go through. Now, to put it into manual shift mode, you're going to take the shifter and you're going to push it over to the left. Now I'm going to use those paddles to go up and down the 8-speed automatic. Guys, I have it in manual shift mode. Using the paddles, you got a small little gear indicator up top. We're now going to go on throttle. Here we go. So definitely faster acceleration using the paddles than if you just have it in regular automatic mode. And to be honest with you, it gives it a little bit more lively driving experience as we're going down this back street area. Smooth shifts from the 8-speed, whether you're shifting up or shifting down, just like I did there. And I really, really dig how the gauges change depending on what mood you're in and what mode you're going to be driving in. And then to really set the mood, you got your ambient lighting. So that's another nice way to make a special mix tape, which you don't have a tape player, but you'll have to make a special mix playlist while you're making out, and then you got the ambient lighting. But look at this, we got nobody in front of us. Lucky day. Let me drop down to first gear, slow down a little bit here so we're not too rev happy. On throttle, here we go. All-wheel drive, keeping us planted. And what's wonderful about this turbocharged engine is that you're able to merge very easily. The other engine choice for the Santa Cruz is going to be a naturally aspirated inline 4, which is a little bit lethargic. This 2.5 liter turbo really does the business when it's time to get up and go. And like I said, comparing this to the Maverick, you do have more horsepower than the EcoBoost Maverick, because that's a 2-liter inline 4 turbocharged engine with 250 horsepower. But hopefully this gave you a wonderful overview experience about what the Santa Cruz is all about and how the driving of it is going to play out onto that day-to-day grind. We're going to get back to where it all began and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another surf up kind of day with this Santa Cruz. I definitely want to thank Brandon, Lori, and the rest of the Hyundai crew for allowing us access to this Santa Cruz press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Is it worth it just going all the way to the top trim and optioning that limited edition of the Santa Cruz for the amount of money? I'm very curious to read what you have to say in the comment section. I know they are as well. And if you rather go Ford Maverick, put that in the comment section as well. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Raity's Rides merch. Got to give it up to the queen behind the lens. She's wearing her crown, and it's really sparkling out here very nicely in the Florida sun. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.